Mayor Luke Feeney. We're avoiding the super wide-angle lens here. I happened to miss the land bank meeting this morning at the county commissioners, and you gave council a briefing on that.
Yep. We have, we're wrapping up 2 grants, and we have 2 major grants that we're sort of entering into our application deadlines for. Both of those are April 1st. Really want to get the word out to the public. It's $1 million for brownfield work, which essentially means land that has been contaminated. Think oil, think chemicals, that sort of thing. So if anybody in the public is aware of land that's been contaminated anywhere in Ross County, we are going to get the application in by April 1st. We'll need to know about your ideas well before that, so get that information to us quickly. And then we're getting another $500,000 for the remediation of abandoned and blighted properties. So this is tearing down old homes that are can't be repaired any further. But there's another grant out there that we're seeking that actually has to do with rehabilitation of properties. So it looks like at least $1.5 million is going to flow through the land bank this year. And at least $1 million is set aside, I think, for next year for the brownfield projects. So,
what kind of budget has the land bank had up to this point with the grants that are expiring?
Yeah, the last remediation grant was $500,000. We've been spending over about 2 years. And then the brownfield, I think, was around the same amount. So, again, and that was about a 2-year spend. So this will be a pretty significant amount of money to come through. And I think one of the big things is that we're working in the county more than we ever have before. And so any information that comes in from villages or township trustees around properties in and around the county that need to be torn down, that sort of thing. The main thing is we need permission. So if there's a missing landowner or something like that, and we can't get permission, it poses problems. But if we have permission, it makes it a lot easier to avail ourselves to these funds.
There's probably a lot of little abandoned gas stations or shut down gas stations.
Yeah, and the rules on the abandoned gas stations are pretty specific. So if there's an empty gas station, but the property owner is paying taxes and we know where they are, they can't really get access to this money, because basically you're helping them clean up a problem that they're supposed to clean up anyway. But if you can't find the owner and it's truly abandoned, we're able to use that money for some of these projects. So, if people have, are aware of folks who maybe bought a home and they were kind of prospecting and thought they were going to rehabilitate it, but it was in worse shape than they realized, that's a perfect scenario for us. Sometimes we can acquire the property, sometimes we just demolish it. And in other circumstances, we've purchased the property and got it in the hands of somebody who can fix it up. So a wide range of outcomes.
Okay. And ODOT is going to be speaking to council?
Yeah, there's a very significant project next year on Bridge Street, massive project, a couple years. And ODOT will come to review session on March 11th to talk through those plans with City Council.
So that'll be here at
Council Chambers, 6 p.m. on March 11th.
And then are they coming again, or did I miss here?
They have invited City Council members to a meeting that's not a public meeting to discuss some of it, but then they will come to a council meeting to discuss for public consumption.
Okay, and this was the study maybe a couple years ago on changing the lights, adding a new Marietta Road extension?
Correct, yep. And they've had some public presentations on it before, but there'll be new lanes going north and south. There'll be added sidewalks. There'll be light restructuring, all kinds of stuff.
All right, and I think council is interested in a facilities tour.
Yes, lots of new council folks who would benefit from, new and old council folks just benefit from seeing the facilities, the current state of them, meeting some of the folks, and making progress on sort of knowing what we have, what we need to manage, and either acquire, or demolish, or sell, that sort of thing.
Especially with the Pepsi building and trying to consolidate offices.
That's correct, yeah. And the building we're in now is in pretty bad disrepair, and we could use a much better home for City Council.
And speaking of city facilities, there's a hole in Chestnut Street, I hear.
Yes, so we had a pretty bad water main break.
When was that?
Yesterday, Sunday. As a result, we had to tear up quite a bit of Chestnut Street. Unfortunately, paving can only start when asphalt plants open back up. And so that road is going to be in pretty bad shape until asphalt plants open up. Hopefully in about a month, we'll be able to get actual paving done. But that road will be kind of a mess for the near future anyway.
And you said that may have been one of the worst water leaks the city's had.
It was a pretty significant. It was a water main, not a I guess a side line. I can't remember, 10 or 12 inch line that broke. I think it was the line that maybe pumped water up the hill. And so pretty significant. If anybody saw the water on the street, it kind of looked like a skating rink. So yeah, pretty messy.
Well, thankfully, during warm weather.
Well, I think it broke because it wasn't warm. I think it was overnight Saturday or something like that. So it was ice. But then, yeah, of course, today it's a beautiful day out. And I guess that made it easier to work, I think, some today.
Yeah, I heard Christina Wolford saying boil alert until Tuesday, 1 p.m.
Yeah, I think that's right.
A few blocks around there.
Yep.
All right, any other thoughts?
I think that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mayor Luke Feeney.
Thanks.
At Chillicothe Council.